That's it.
Kokolioko, 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 chicken necro for day. Kokolioko, 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 chicken necro for day. Kokolioko, 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 chicken necro for day. Hey, hey, Kokolioko, kokolioko, chicken necro for day.
Hello, my people. This is Alex Cummings, founder of the Cummings Africa Foundation and political leader of the ANC. I'm here to tell you that coronavirus is real, but it can be prevented if you do the following things. One, wear your face mask. Two, wash your hands plenty. Three, stay away from plenty people. Four, do your COVID 19 test. Five, go to the hospital when you feel sick. And six, take your COVID vaccine to be protected. Together, we can fight the coronavirus and save each other's lives. Remember, your health is very important to me and to Liberia. Please stay safe. God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless Liberia.
Semi-tired. Oh, please, Barbara. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, all right. Take it easy. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
Hello, 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 hello. This is Munal Kishan, aka the General. This is the prime time. So, I know you might be sleeping, but if you're up, good. Let's discuss all about Liberia, all about Alex. Today is Alex Cummings night. Okay, guys, this is Munal Kishan again, aka the General. As you all know, I usually come out by this time or sometime before then. People ask me, they say, why you come up late? Listen, I'm not stopping you to be up, but if you think that you need to go to bed, and you can watch it later. And don't forget, you can follow me on YouTube. Go to TGN TV. You will see all my programs on YouTube. Also, if you go on Facebook and you can't just find me, just go to the general and you will be able to see me. Guys, there's a man in Liberia called Alexander Cummings. This guy, most people take him to be a stranger. Do you think he's a stranger? No, he's not. He is a Liberian, like any other person, born and raised in Liberia, grew up in Point Four, went to a public schools, demonstration, went to CWA. His mom struggled to send him to CWA. He went to Cottington. There are a lot of poor people children who went to Cottington. So don't think that Cottington was so extra. Yes. And then later graduated, came to the States, got his degree, and went back home and worked with LBDI. This guy's story is just another Liberian story. Let me trying to get something here. Okay, I try to put him near me. I know that's Alex Cummings right there. Yeah. So after everything, went back home, worked with LBDI or financial analyst guy, came back to the States like any other person. Try hard, fought, and went and applied for a job. Later on, work with. Look, I think I need to take this thing off because I'm hearing myself. So if you can hear me, please let me know if you can hear me. I'm going through another software, that's why, but I'm not directly on Facebook. So, but I'm streaming through to get to Facebook. Okay, guys, share this video when you come on. Share it. Tonight is all about comments. No other person, all about comments. I'm not going to call nobody name. I'm not going to call no other politicians. It's all about Alexander Cummings. This guy did everything from Pillsbury, the first black vice president, and from Liberia too. And then went to Coca Cola, did everything, spent 20 years with Coca Cola and retired and went back home. Why are we calling him stranger? We should be happy to have a Liberian who is very successful. His story is just like any other Liberian. Other people wishing today that their children would be like him. And it's not supposed to be that way. Every child must have that opportunity. Every child. But all the time we have to send our children out for success. You can get it in Liberia. But this man have thought it wise and said, listen, I can give back to Liberia. For what I learned out there, I can deliver. I can change this country. No matter what, I can change Liberia. Whether we like it or not. But the establishment, when we talk about the establishment, we're talking about people who were on it. People who think that they own Liberia. Politicians who feel that they are the owner when it comes to politics. They're supposed to be in charge. They are afraid. They are afraid. Nothing else. Who is this guy? Who is this guy that's so humble and telling us that he will stop corruption? Not 100%, but when you listen to him, he said I will minimize it. He said it will be hard. It won't be like a silver spoon or golden spoon, like yes, it will work. That it will happen right there. No. He said as times go by, we will learn. It's not an easy thing to change a system. To change a system is hard. Nobody wants change. But guess what? Don't let it scare you. The change that we're looking for is the change that the common man, the common Liberian looking for. The politicians are not looking for that change. The politicians believe that they must remain in power until they get old and leave. They are the one. Like when you go back, you see the progressive. They felt that they're supposed to be the only people. They went to the All Liberian Conference. They could not make it. They broke away because they believe that I'm in charge. If it's not me, it cannot be you. Then we get this guy, moved to Liberia, born and raised in Liberia. Born and raised. He was never born into a rich family. He's not one of those who were so rich that his father used to put him in car to go to school. No. This man, mom used to sell. This man struggled. You know, they got a lot of shy Liberians. Not all Liberians like us that big mouth, we all on Facebook talking. This man have done a lot. Don't listen to me. Don't take it from me. What I want you to do is to ask or do your own research. I know it's not an easy thing for Liberians to read, to know who I want to support. But at the same time, I say this all the time, Liberian politics is practical, it's not theory. Ask question. Who are you? Why do you want to be president? How can you change this system that is rotting? That is why when I listen to a lot of people say, Mr. Cummings do not understand Liberian politics. I agree. To understand Liberian politics, you must be corrupt. It's just truth. You must be like the other guys who will buy vote, who will give you bag of rice, who will just feed you and you vote. And for what he have earned for himself, this guy can buy vote if he want to. He can buy it. And Liberian people will be willing for him to buy it. He can buy vote if he want to. Please share this video. If you want to go to YouTube, you can also go to YouTube and watch this video. And you can follow me on YouTube anytime when you feel like. So it's the cheap TGNF TV, TGN TV. So, Mr. Cummings, he's a humble guy. Imagine a man who is rich. You know, when we say someone a millionaire, that means you have more than $1 million. But this man is rich. This man has everything. And he always said, thank God, God bless me, I'm successful. But what about the common man? What about the man in the street? Because this man said something. He said, I know what it means for a father that you cannot support your child. I know what it means for a father to leave the house and spend 80% of his time struggling to feed his family and he cannot. Guess what happened? If he's not strong, he will steal. If he's not strong, he will just remain in the street, get drunk, and go home when the wife or the kids ask and just whip them up. It's not supposed to happen. It's not. Who are the victim in this thing here? Are the common Liberians. Not him, not the other politicians. No. The guys, we gave them power is for themselves. For they and the family. That's what they say, interest. Yes, politics is interest. Politics is interest. But for once, let us understand. Let us put Liberia first no matter what. No matter, we have potential guys out there like Mr. Cummings, but they are afraid to go home. If you go to Liberia and you don't get into politics, oh, you the best guy. But if you get into politics, the same people who come to you before for money and whatsoever, they will be the one to trash you. Oh, we're not going to give Liberia to this man like how we gave Liberia to this present president. What? Are we kidding me? Are you really serious about it? But look, Liberians, it's right in front of our eyes. Let us not fool ourselves. I tell you, listen to politicians when they're speaking. Listen keenly. There's certain things they don't utter. They won't talk about Jane. They won't talk about. They will just say, oh yes, the people are corrupt, but we can do that. But this man is saying that I will, if I have the will, I will jail my friends if they destroy my government, if I'm president. I will not hesitate for the law to prevail. But you see, we Liberians, it's sad. It's sad. This is not rocket scientists. This is not about your degree. that you have. Because that paper is just a paper. It's what comes from out of you. Because most of our so-called educated people, they are the one that causing the problem. They leave, they have not done anything for themselves. They go to Liberia, they fight for jobs. It's not supposed to be that way for the government to be the number one employer in the country. We all know government's supposed to create avenues to create jobs. Yes, sometimes people say Liberians are lazy, but I tell you Liberians are not lazy. But one thing I tell you, we are proud people and we are changing. Change is not hard, but Liberia themselves are changing. That is why if you want a change, you must set examples. Let me give you a little history. I want you to look at all our past leaders. They were broke. What happened today? They are rich. How they got the money? It is your money. Broke. Don't have a penny. And we elect them. Don't get me wrong, they got some earnest poor people. But it's not an easy thing. Because in reality, if I'm a poor man, which I like this thing, I am not poor. In myself, I'm not poor. It's just a matter of time. But at least I can feed my family. I can do everything for my family. So I'm not poor. Now, you come to power. You don't have a place to sleep. The first thing you're going to think about yourself, let me tell you the truth. We shouldn't lie and brag and say this and that. Yes, that honesty will be in you. But you will start to build a little house or sometimes waste time. But don't get me wrong. They have some earnest people who are not rich. I can give a name and I'm a living witness to one, but may his soul rest in peace. Sometimes they don't live long, like Serenos Fall. Serenos Nyanfor was not a rich man, never built a house, but he lived in the best house. He drove one of the best cars. He never bought himself a car while he was in Liberia, when I was working with him. But one thing he believed in, he says, son, integrity is what I live on. And this is the man that told me, he said, if you want to know a human being, 3 things you must know. Because Professor Ford, he always brag. He said, listen, we got 2 politicians in Liberia who did comparative politics. That means you will know English and know the political science. He said, he and Dr. Sawyer. You know, you listen to some of the politicians, they speak as if they're writing down what else I know. They just got a PhD, but they are dummies. He said, 3 things. The most important thing of any human being is honesty, integrity, and empathy. They don't teach you, I want to sue in school. Nobody teach you how to be honest. Nobody teach you how to have integrity. Nobody teach you to have that empathy. It's something that within you, every human being. But most of us try to hide it. All the other things come, decision, this and that, what to say, all that thing appears. It will follow later. Certain things in life, nobody hold you to make a decision. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not right. That's why I always tell people, say, no decision is right until it is right. But thing like integrity, you're supposed to have it because you should respect yourself. Your name is what you live by. You don't walk in the street and be looking around to see who coming behind you, who be looking over your shoulder. Feel proud and with your head in the air and say, yes, I can walk anywhere and nobody will say nothing about me. Honesty, not perfect, but honesty. If you are honest, you're not going to kill nobody. You will not undermine nobody. You will not steal from nobody. Because for every time you want to do that thing, there's certain things in you that will push you. You're honest. You will not suppress. You will not undermine. That is why honesty. There's a book written by Jefferson on chapter 1. The first thing for every leader, honesty. Be bold, speak. Don't take your words back. That's why you think before you speak. If you make a decision, if you speak and people think that it's wrong, stand by it. But if it is wrong and you know it is wrong, you get back and retract and make it right. That is honesty. Taking back your statement. Not all the time. You apologize now. Now when you do wrong, I'm sorry. No. You can say, yeah, yesterday, I said something yesterday. But I think I went home and thought about it and we need to do it this way. That's honesty because you just thought about it. Not when you lie. Lying is different from coming back and change your mind. It's two different things. When you lie, you lie. Oh, John Munel, I saw you. I just came from I went to Wawa to get my coffee. Oh, Munel, I saw you to Wawa. Oh, no, I wanted to Wawa. It was yesterday. Then later on, you found out I was there today. Then I said, oh, I'm sorry. You lie. You lie. But if you saw me to Wawa, I said, oh, yes, I was to Wawa. What you want to do there? Well, that's it. But not because you lied, I mean, you're not honest now. You're not honest, but that honesty is still in you, but you're afraid sometimes to say the truth. That still not make you to be a good leader. Your integrity, you think about your children. You think about yourself. Why people follow me? That's something they saw in me. Why when I talk, people listen. When I'm in a gathering and I say something, sometimes it irritates people ear. By the end of the day, come back to the same thing and say, yes, what you said yesterday was right. And you know what I'm saying? You was right. So that is why today I'm not bringing nobody on Facebook because I'm going through my software. I'm not going through Facebook. So, and I will not bring anybody on. So, but I want you to make comments and please share the video. All you can do, just share it to all your contacts. You understand? And I will appreciate it if you can do that, please. So, that's what our leader's supposed to be like. But our leader have that in there? No. They pretend. But you should be smart for yourself. Empathy. Empathy. When you walk in the street and you see a beggar, you ask yourself, it could be me tomorrow. You see someone in a wheelchair, it could be me. It could be you. How you feel? Are you going to just cuss them up? Or you see a man struggling, like today, a friend, a good friend. A good friend. He said, Munel, he had a job. And right in America, a very good job. Through a friend and me and whatsoever, he had a very good job. He said, oh, they fired me. Long time. The first time I was on the forklift and I fell asleep and somebody took my pictures. And this time again, they said I was sleeping, but they never showed me the picture and they just fired me and said somebody saw me again. I said, listen, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I said, he want to go home to have his foundation. He had purchased his land. I said, the devil is busy. I went through it myself. I went through it. I went through it myself. I will not tell nobody lie. But you see, you must be strong. You must be very strong. And thank God, I'm living one of my best life ever. My family are happy. My wife, my family, my wife, my children, when I say my family, I mean my immediate family and friends. Don't never let anything move you. You can do so much what you think you can do, but don't try to do what you cannot do. Now, that is where Alex Cummings comes in. Look among all our politicians in Liberia today. This man have worked hard. We should be proud of him first. But I see sometimes people say that damn Coca-Cola selling sugar water. And I hear it from educated people. That means your education is dummy, is for nothing. Because if you tell someone that my man move right in sugar water we're selling, it's not fun you're making. It's not fun. Nobody is smarter than anyone. Everyone is very smart in a special way. Nobody's smarter than me. I'm not smarter than nobody. But there's certain things I know you don't know. There's certain ways I speak that you will never speak. There's certain things that I have, certain characteristics that within me, you will never have it, and I will never have yours. I will not try to imitate nobody. I will try to be myself. So always try to be yourself. The truth, if you are honest, it will remain in you no matter what. You can be into politics, you will still do it. Oh, Mr. Cummings need to tune down. Mr. Cummings is not going to tune down. If what Mr. Cummings is doing and speaking out and say that I will fight corruption and people will go to jail, people will answer for what they're doing, if that will cause Mr. Cummings the election, so be it. We will live for it and our person will live for it. It's not a must, Mr. President, Mr. Cummings be president. But if you give it to me, if you ask me today, if you ask me and I have my own will, it is a must. If you ask me, he's the only one I see. He is the only one I see. And put me record, I owe no one apologies. From 2016 to now, I have not seen no politician compared to this man. Nobody. In fact, we say he's a politician. He's a technocrat. He's not a politician. He's not a politician. He don't speak like a politician. Politicians lie. They lie a lot. Politrick. Their books is different. This man is honest. You think this man want to build a house? No. You think this man want to buy a new car when he's president? No. Do you think this man want to send his kids to school? No. Do you think this man want to take his wife for Liberian people to give her $1.5 million in the budget? No. This man, he's a financial officer. He's an economist. He knows how to make money. He knows how to create jobs. Yes. He knows how to create jobs. He have done it before. They say when Christmas will be good, check on the eve. For you to know a leader, for you to know that someone will be successful, you must know what they did in the past. You must know what they did in the past. I hear people talk about public experience, corporate experience. Y'all, please listen to this. The first thing, when you get your degree, the degree never spell out where you're going to work. Your degree do not tell you whether you're going to work in a corporate, to a company, or in government. When they say you get degree in business management, you can work in government, you can work with a big corporation firm. Now, in government, you have the president, you have the vice president, you have the ministers. They're almost like the board of directors to the president. They have meetings every Tuesday, which this other government, I don't know the last time they have meeting. But I know it was every Tuesday or Wednesday, they have the cabinet meetings for the president to come up with agenda and have best to run the country. It's the same thing with the board. The board has a president, vice president, they have chairman of the board, they meet, they discuss, and they send it down to all the little directors. The difference is that in government, you only need 50 plus 1. If your ratings is over 50, you're good. In corporate, that they need 100%. They want to sell their products. In government, they don't do that. So which one is very easy? Which one is easy? It's harder for the politicians. It's nice for the common man. The common Liberian will want to see government stopping all the waste. The common Liberian will want to have benefits, good health care, electricity, infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure create jobs. So in general, when the politician tells you my agenda, infrastructure, it creates job, because whatever you do, you're going to create job. If you're building roads, you're going to create job. If you're building ministries or whatsoever, you're going to create jobs. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things. Agriculture. Somebody commented, why Mr. Cummings can't go and give money to the people to open agriculture. Listen, not everybody believe that it must. Why Mr. Cummings should take his money and give it to him? If he wants to do it, fine. How many of our people we elected did all these things? I've never in my entire life, I have never seen a single Liberian who gave $150,000. Seriously. I have never seen a single Liberian who gave over $25,000 to institutions to do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I have never seen a single Liberian doing it. Some will give 5,000. All the so-called millionaires we have in Liberia, they never did it. Why we should think that he's not doing it? Oh, he's not likable. Oh, he's not going to places. He's not meeting this other group. He's not meeting this. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. This is the men are dancing. Dancing. But who said this?
Who say all these things? Politicians. Those that have privilege to be on Facebook. Oh, nobody know Mr. Cummings. Nobody know Mr. Cummings. Oh, nobody know him. Mr. Cummings got to do this. Mr. Cummings got to do that. They fooling you and myself because yeah, we all on Facebook. We're not doing nothing. No, how many person here in my message today? And this is the same Mr. Cummings taking selfie with somebody or man in the street that not working with him. That is the Mr. Cummings that we don't know. All Liberians do it. No bodyguard near him. But every day we complain. This is the same Mr. Cummings here that we all oh, nobody know Mr. Cummings. Nobody know Mr. Cummings. You don't have the 10,000 crowd. The silent voters in Liberia will make the difference. And I will tell you, Mr. Cummings will win the VPS. Mr. Cummings will win the primary. You can give me whatever you want to give me. You can go up, you come down. You know why? You know why he will win it? Hard work. God don't pay you bad when you work hard. I'm telling you. Hard work. Mr. Cummings have changed. They changed politics in Liberia so badly that today we campaign. You won't believe it. 2000 when 1985, after the election, all the politicians were dead. When Taylor won the election, Ellen Johnson left the country. She was out of the country. All the politicians were silent. When Ellen came back, she won the first election. You couldn't hear about no other political parties. They waited until 1 year to elections. They came up. Second time, the same thing. This time when George Weah won the election, Mr. Bwaka went into hiding. Mr. Cummings took the street after 2 months. You know what I'm saying? And started to go places. Everybody said, what Mr. Cummings doing so? Went to all the counties. This man went to all the counties. Stopped to all the, in fact, excluding River Cess. He went through River Cess. In fact, one of my friends just came from River Cess in Maya Yato. He said to reach to River Cess right now, you must ride motorbike, no matter what. Car cannot reach to River Cess again. He just came from there. And not one time, not 2 times, he has visited all the counties. Because you know why? You want to be president. He want to be president. So you must go and listen and write and know the story. I'm saying this thing because if we don't say it, people will lie. If we don't say it, he will win that VPS. He will win. Unless they want to cheat. But he will win it. That is the fear of the other side. And I will tell you, and it's within me, whether you like it or not. If he's not the standard bearer, we will support whoever is the standard bearer. It is their right. It is the right of every political party. And it is their right to criticize Mr. Cummings any day, anytime. The only thing, let us stop the insults. It is their right. Mr. Cummings need, somebody say, oh, Mr. Cummings, you need to talk to this other person. No, Mr. Cummings, they need to talk to none of the political leaders. None. To tell them back off. No. Why he should tell a political leader to back off? He cannot. Whether we campaigning for him, our job is to make the case. 4 independent political parties are collaborating, coming together. Every one of them have a shot. Until you can get to that crossing line, until you can get to the finish line. You know, in Liberia, we have that mentality. We must stop it. We always have plan B to settle for the least. Why we should settle for least? You going into a community and say, well, if I take second place, okay. You have defeated yourself already. It is the right of every political party to do whatever they want to do. To campaign and compare records. It mean that they're going to bring problem. The same people sometimes they call and tell you, say, oh, Munel, you're taking it easy. But listen to the other show. They're supporting the other side. Oh, this man, let this man, oh, you know, Mr. Cummings should go as VP. Who are you to tell Mr. Cummings to go as a VP? For you to have a VP, you must have a standard bearer. Who am I to tell Mr. Boyka to go as VP? Who am I? No. Who am I to tell other people don't run? Let us be honest to ourselves. You into a race, but yet you say this man is not qualified to be president or to be standard bearer. But at the same time, you telling him, can you just go as a standard bearer so tomorrow and this and that? Who are you to tell us or tell him? That's his right. It is a privilege. It is a privilege. Whether we like it or not, Mr. Cummings will be. It's ordained. If Mr. Cummings is not, we'll just leave it and live with it and support whoever that come out and watch and see. We'll support them, whoever. But I believe deep down, if Mr. Cummings is the standard bearer, people will break away. Because I hear so many hate, and I pray to God that they might change at that time. I pray to God that people will change. It shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. If you're home and you watching your TV, you got a smart TV, you can just switch to YouTube and go to TG and TV, and you can watch this live and you still be on your phone. So just go to YouTube and you'll be able to watch the program. So okay, it's on right now. So this is it. It's on YouTube, so you can watch it live on YouTube. So this is YouTube right now, so you can also watch it live. Or tomorrow you can get on. But the CPP has a diamond. There's a diamond sitting in front of them. But you know, diamond comes from dirt. For you to see the quality, the clarity, and the cleanness of that diamond, you must watch it. And that is up to you. You know, when I hear people talk about numbers, the numbers. Now, if you want to convince me about numbers and want to bring back the 2016-17 election, 2016 election, I don't want people, the election was in 2016. And 2017 was the inauguration. So it's the same thing. Our election will be in 2023 and 2024 will be the inauguration. If we want to go by numbers, then you're telling us that, George, we are going to win. That's what you're telling us. But we fail to realize that, yes, it's 4 political parties against 4 political parties. Because Spring Johnson party now is with CDC. So you got this coalition for democratic change, the Congress for Democratic Change, National Patriotic Party, LPDP, the Talos Party, and the Prince Johnson Party. There are 4 parties. And on the other side, you got a coalition that you got, what the man is, you got ANC, you got the UP, you got whatsoever. Yeah. But what we don't realize is that at that time, we register 1.1 million people, if I'm right. Only less than 600 and less than 700 people voted. Now, Liberia, the National Election Commission have registered almost 2.5 million people. And out of that 2.5 million, you got 880 or 880 voters in Montserrado. So United States Montserrado is still the highest. So right now, Montserrado is almost around 40%, if I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in Montserrado. Nobody own nowhere. Which is true. Going separately, Congress for Democratic Change, the NPP whatsoever, will come first. Going separately. We are aware of it. We are aware. It's not CDC alone Congress for Democratic Change on everybody running. If everybody was running, I don't want to believe that CDC might come first. They might be in that group because they got some committed people. But you know, CDC is a coalition now. Let us be honest with ourselves. And what we fail to realize, Liberia has a lot of independent voters. Most of the people that vote for parties, they like the party, they like the individual. They're not members of that political party. They are not registered members. They are not. People go after people. But if you're saying that Mr. Cummings, nobody knowing, I will give that to you compared to someone who was 12 years as vice president. Anybody got to know because you were vice president for 12 years. But do you know the history? I want you to go back. There have been no political party in our history that ever left power and came back. You know that? Do you know? There have been no party, unless it will change now, but there have been no political parties. From the day the TUI party left, that was the end of it. NDPL left, that was the end of it. NPP gone, it was the end of it. UP going, UP gone. Do you think Liberians will really want to? But you see when we say this, a coalition, it's true it's a coalition, but guess what? Coalition don't have an agenda. The party still carries the agenda. So it's just like you say, my man, let's go together. If you're there, I will not put a candidate in. I will not fee your candidate. That's all. So the agenda lies with you. But one of the parties have already given out the birthright to support. But let me say this. I have seen it in 3 elections. The leader of that political party can support you. The members don't have to follow. It's just the leader. Nobody going to send the delegates and the leader of the party come and change the delegate the next day. No. These delegates will be in. They are Liberians. They are not foreigners. That delegate you're looking at going through the same hell like you and myself. That delegate is hungry. His kids have not gone to school. He have not taken pay. He going through the same hardship. He will make his own decision. He will make his decision. And don't be everybody chasing every party members. People after ANC members, people after Liberty Party members, people are going all over the place. So if a political leader comes out and say, I support you, I will support this guy, it make no difference. Because we saw it. Vani Shema came out and supported George Weah. What happened? His vice president, Snonte, went somewhere else. Snonte also went to CDC. After he left, Mr. Cummings did not, Mr. Cummings supported the UP in the past election in the second round, gave them money. But because this individual don't like it, he don't like to tell people that he gave money. But we will say it. He gave money and voted. Do you think within yourself, my brother and sister, that Mr. Cummings actually voted for CDC? Can you tell me that today? You don't be true to yourself. So people holding it. This is a man, y'all say he nothing. What impact it was going to make? Even the late Bromsky did not endorse the UP in the second round. The late Bromsky never did it. He was mute. He had never endorsed nobody after the election. So tell me, Darius Dillon never endorsed the UP, but he voted for them. I supported the UP in the second round. I came out on Facebook on the Jida Hard Talk and endorsed. I said, after seditions, call. I said I will give my support to the UP because I believe that when you put these two people together, they still have a better leadership. Yeah. And I can still remember UP told us they only wanted one term. The standard bearer for UP at the time said, I will only go one term. It's not a make-up news. It's all over the place. So Why are you going to want them? Because of age matter and whatsoever and blah 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 blah. Then I will give it all to the young people. So if you add 6 years to that age, but yet and still that UP member is still asking for another 6 years, because no, the 6 years is just like you telling me, you know, the war that was fought in Liberia, the 14 years, I subtracted it, so I still need another 14 years. Liberians, we got more to go. Now, this man supported the UP candidate financially, politically, he did. But people are having it against him. But you see, in life, if nobody call your name, you nobody. That song, that's true. If no one call your name, you are nobody. Let them say whatever they want to say. This man, when you look at his history, he has been overlooked so many times in everywhere he want to work. And as the same thing, we overlooking him today. We know they are backstabber. We know people are afraid. If Mr. Cummings was just an ordinary man who want to support people and not into politics, they will be happy. We've said Mr. Cummings should leave the CP. I said it. And I owe no one apology. But when I listen to him and I listen to myself, wise man changes, I listen to myself, I say, yes, this guy is all for unity. It's not about him. The Liberia election is not about Mr. Cummings. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let no one fool you. It's about Mr. Cummings. If it were about Mr. Cummings, he would be apologizing so to get your vote. Mr. Cummings wrote a letter to the Senate condemning the entire Senate and the entire legislators. Other people say Mr. Cummings should have only people within the ANC. People call me and say Mr. Cummings supposed to only call out his ANC members. No. That's an institution. It is an institution. Oh, Darius Dillon Vest, he says political. Yes, it is. And what Mr. Cummings said, I stand by it. You can go up and come down. If it costs me anything, I will live with it. When honesty is in you, it's not an easy thing. Integrity is in you, it's not an easy thing. It's not. This man is passionate of our people. It's not about you and myself. It's not about no politicians. But the politicians, why did you continue to use our people? It's all about them. Look around you. Look around you and look at the past pictures. Look at the past pictures. How they were. And you consider, you said they were rich. And you said they were rich before. Eh? Look at the past pictures. Then you think they were rich? No. They were never rich. They were broke. Going through hell than any other person. But look at them today. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, Nathaniel Magay. Is that how Nathaniel Magay was looking? And somebody I listened to say Mr. Magay had money. Is that how? Look, let us not lie. When a Liberian man get money, his body, his future change. There's a picture that was on the internet about the president here and his wife. You could see, and when you see that people, oh, the person got money, oh, this person this, oh, this person that. Look, let us stop it. But you know, it's not all. I even like to talk about it sometimes. I don't care whether you eat in the street or whether you you give yourself or what the thing he said. You eat lobsters or whatsoever. That's your right to do that. But history will judge every one of us. Sometimes we come on Facebook, we lie. History will hold me, Munel Kishen, if I'm telling the story. If I'm lying, history will hold me responsible. It's not about myself anymore. Our time is going out. I know some people say, oh yeah, look at your gray hair, you papi. Yes, I am over 50. But I thank God for my life. I think every day about people back home. Who can I afford it? It's not about me. I'm not thinking that Mr. Cummings should be president, then I will go home. No, I can go home today. I'm not saying that Mr. Cummings should go home before I get to know him. I don't give a damn. Mr. Cummings is not feeding me, but I support Mr. Cummings 110% because I believe within myself that he's a more decent politician or decent Liberian. Don't get me wrong, they got a lot of decent Liberians out there who want to help us. Like when I hear somebody asking, who is Richelieu Dennis? He worked in Liberia before? No. How the hell Richelieu Dennis will work in Liberia when he's a little boy and left the damn country? So working in Liberia, make you to be a Liberian, you see some of the stupidity of our people. Working in Liberia, make you to be a good Liberian? No. We should be happy because Richelieu Dennis, unless someone can correct me, is the most successful Liberian man in our history. Whether you like it or not. Most successful Liberian. He's rich. He's rich. We should be proud and happy. We should be proud. Like how we were proud of the president when he was making his name out there. We should be proud and hold our own. He's not a politician. He's not looking for a job in Liberia. Will and Richelieu Dennis want to work in Liberia? Are we crazy? This man in America, he got everything. He's not a billionaire, but he worth millions. His businesses and other stuff. And living in this great country like any other celebrities. Can go places anytime. Why we should ask, who is Peter Paul? There are so many commies out there who want to go home, who want to help, but we try to prosecute them because of their success. I'm not here to tell you about Mr. Cummings, what he worth. I'm not here to praise Mr. Cummings over and over. I'm not here because I want to praise Mr. Cummings got money. No. It could be any other Liberians who are sincere. I supported Darius Dillon. Darius Dillon can make any mistake and go up and come down. He's 10 times better than even the ones that we still have in the Senate. But I didn't mean that he should make mistakes. But I'm not here for that. I'm here about Mr. Cummings to tell you. Let us see reason, my people. It's not Mr. Cummings. It's not about making Mr. Cummings president. We want to get some of the benefits out of our citizens. We need some of the ideas. It doesn't mean that Mr. Cummings have all the ideas. But Mr. Cummings would not be afraid to look in any politician's face and tell them, say, you're not on my team. That is why they're afraid of Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings have not committed himself to any Liberian. I dare you. Mr. Cummings have not committed himself. He has no list to say Peter Paul will be, John Brown will be. Mr. Cummings he said they got potential Liberians. And they got potential Liberians out of the country. He's still not castigating anybody until you are proving yourself to be guilty. You see, the old politician, the establishment is already there. The establishment, they are already 20% ahead of us. People know them. They can even sit home and people call their names. I agree. Politics, you must sell yourself. So if you think you're getting pissed off because Mr. Cummings going around the city, around the country, so be it. That's what politician does. You got to go from place to place to let people know you. You can't sit back. And he will win it. He will win it. If I would support the CPP, if Mr. Cummings is not a stand-up bearer, I want to be honest with you, I will support it, but I will still have a doubt within myself. This man is not looking for a job. Mr. Cummings is not looking for a job. You see, I will tell you today, when a man running for office, actually he's not looking for a job. He wants to serve. It's just that in Liberia, our people run for office because they want to steal and they believe that that's where the money is. They can cross the... Liberia is the only place you are senator or representative, you stay a lawyer of another company like Funanti Kofa. That will make Liberia strange. Where's the code of conduct? So when someone running for office, actually they're not looking for a job. But every young child today want to run. Oh, I'll be representative. They say, oh, I'm a representative making 14,000. Oh, 10,000. Oh, wow. Oh, they got car. They got free this. They got free that. So everybody want to run because they are popular in the area. Yes, it's good. When you're popular, you run. But why can't we scrutinize them? Why? They're popular, but they have not even served the community yet. They have not done anything because people know them, because they're rude, they can curse, they can do this. People know them, which is true because people know them. Because people know them, so they think that they can run for office. And when they run for office, but when a man running for office is not looking for a job, yes, he will get paid. But there's a reason you go in there to serve the people, not to serve yourself. You go in there to serve people, to make their lives better, to help the government, help our people. That is why people go there. You understand? Please share this video. I see the viewers here are not many because every time I go through this software, it takes time. Other people can tell me they see, but I can see them. So please let us give Mr. Cummings a chance. Let us give him a chance. His agenda is the people's agenda. Mr. Cummings' concern is about you, our people. His concern is not about no politician. It's not about people who successful. It's not about people who in power, so I should be careful how I speak. No. He stand by it, and he know it's going to be hard. Some of them, will, even within his own party, they will not accept it easily. Change is a hard thing. Change is hard. It's not nothing easy. We all know that. But let us do the right thing. When we do the right thing, it will help us. If we put the right leader, it will help us. People talk about experience. It's the same experience that get us into this mess today. This man have a different experience that no Liberian man ever that want to get in the office. Nobody. And let me tell you today, because Liberia is one of the worst places, and people think about going to Liberia. Most of them were brokers. They broke. They work with American. Some of them work on Wall Street and this and that, but they never had money. They were broke. Some of them going back to work. You remember Richard Talbot? Everybody say, oh, Richard Talbot, man, the guy on Wall Street, they got work with Citibank and blah, 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 blah. This man got friends in the Middle East. He took Ellen Johnson there and they gave the Ellen Johnson government $2 million and blah. Ellen Johnson appointed him as commissioner for investment commissioner. Ellen Johnson fired him in the first year. You know for what? For stealing. For taking $50,000 from Chinese people. I think 50 or 25. $50,000 from Chinese. That is why Liberians do not trust other people. Oh, that man came from America. But guess what? That man never retired. He was working. He was not even a vice president. He was not nothing. And he went to Liberia and think that he could manipulate the system and eat his own. But we got a man who retired, worked and got to the top. And this man telling you, sometimes we push into the wall to brag. I'm on this board, this other college board, I'm on this other board, and he has a lot to lose. He will not want to, his percentage rate of failing is 0.0.0.0.1. I don't know how you put that damn thing. Because you know what? He will be afraid to do the wrong thing for his name, for the respect that people have for him. He would not want to fail. He followed the laws. Right now, this man, just imagine a founder of the Cummings Foundation, he recused himself, he's not running it. It's not even attached to ANC. He's not giving people scholarship based on Dennis or Cooper's name. But some people mad because people in America, Dennis on the board and whatsoever. Do we ask the other people who all you got on your board? But we know they will bring that whole Congo thing against Mr. Cummings. Because you know, when you have nothing to say, You might bring lies, and Liberian people will not fall for it. Liberians will not fall for it today, they will not fall for it tomorrow. So I'm begging you, please, let us see reason. Let us put our country first. He don't have to be part of his party. But go, you don't have to listen to me. But go out there and understand that it's about your future. It's about our future, not any other person. Thank you very much. I'm going to switch to Facebook to go live again. So you can catch me on Facebook. But also, you can watch this again on, go to Facebook, on YouTube, TGN TV. You will see that face. It's the general. And if you go to Facebook, you'll see it on my page. And also, you can just go to the general. I do this. It's not paid for. It's free. And I love it. I want to see things good for us. And I am a proud supporter of Cummings. Any day, anytime. I owe no one an apology. Whether you like it or not, I support Mr. Cummings. And I will do everything within my power. I will spread the message. I will be on air in Liberia by the grace of God. My stuff will be aired. People in Liberia will hear me. We're not just sitting. But we'll let everybody know, from Maryland to Cape Mount, from Montserrado to Nimba County, Lofa County, Bon County, to the 5 big counties. We will do everything. Crane Jide, our other counties, Maryland, River G, Crane Crew. No one owns Liberia. Liberia is owned by all Liberians. We all have the rights. Mr. Cummings don't need to go to anybody. I believe that people within the other parties will vote for Mr. Cummings at the convention, at the primary. So, if a political leader coming out to support, it's just a plus, but it's still not nothing. The people, the delegates, will not be changed the next day. It's not going to be like, things happen and we learn from it. What happened in Nimba County is not going to repeat itself. I know sometimes people say that we don't have this. Yes, I would love to see Mr. Cummings on the radio station, which is truth. I would love to see Mr. Cummings doing other things, which is truth, because politics is a different thing. In Liberia, it's practical. It's not theory. So nobody has a number. So the numbers we talk about, don't listen to it. It's not a number. Don't let no one scare you. Don't let no one scare you that Mr. Cummings, you know the other person. No. Do not think an individual can just make the difference easily. Even from the Dillon or whatsoever. People that supported Dillon, they're not from Dillon party. Some from his party, some came from the other party. People within the COP, they're not with the NIU. And we all know why COP was almost controlled by Liberty and ALP. You know what I'm saying? So don't let no one scare you. It is their right to support whoever they want to support. You can be the biggest and whatsoever. Yes, you can have the largest platform. I'm Munir Kishan, I'm afraid of nobody. I never lose until I lose. I never give up until it is the end. And guess what? Politics, even if I lose, it's not the end of my life. Because it's not going to change my life. What they're going to do for me is for every Liberian to be smiling if Mr. Cummings is president tomorrow, that I can go home and come back and go home and come back. That's it. Mr. Cummings has not committed himself to nobody. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Whatever Mr. Cummings plans to do for Liberia, go to look at his agenda, is in the interest of the common man. Mr. Cummings knows how to create jobs. Even if you listen to him, there is no way we can create jobs in Liberia when we don't have a good electricity. We all know that. No big company is going to come in Liberia factory to continue to run their factory on generators. Do you know how much they're spending? No. They need internet service. Mr. Cummings talk about it. We got fiber optic in Liberia, but are we using it? No. Only government people using it and free, but we're going to pay for it. How can you outsource job to Liberia like Comcast, Verizon to get a call center? You don't even have the correct internet. You don't have electricity. Why are we so backward? Our neighbors are moving ahead of us because of good leadership. Dubai. Liberia is richer than Dubai, but because of good leadership. Look at Singapore today, because of good leader. Look at Singapore. It took one man, because the power is within our executive, especially in Liberia. When the head is clean, everywhere will be clean. That is why I make this statement, and I saw it is a quote by what the guy, but it's a quote. What makes you to be a great leader is what you do behind closed door. They got a leader that pretend, but behind closed door they are corrupt. So the corruption will spread out, because if your minister coming to you behind closed door and giving you the money, he will go out there and steal, and you will not fire him, because guess what? He been giving money to you. So that's what make you to be a great leader. Whatever you do behind closed door, whatever you say behind closed door. If you chastise your honor man behind closed door, when he come out, he will change. But when your honor man is still doing the wrong thing, that means you endorse it. Then it's on you. In the military, what happened? Commander take responsibility of the honor man. If your platoon, your troop, or whatsoever go out there and start to rip and blah blah do everything, and you don't say it, you're responsible. It's simple. He gave you authority to control them. It's just like in government. Like I hear some other government officials, and the president got a metrics that he rate everybody on. And let me give you the last one before I leave, and I'll go to Facebook. Commissioner Eugene Nangwe, his term is about to expire as commissioner. The pressure is on George, on the president. So Eugene is doing everything to keep that job. That tomorrow, if President Weah is not president, he will have a 10-year job, and the next president will meet in there and they will not just fine. Because the next president will be a decent president, he will go by the law, by the rules. So he's doing everything within himself to keep that job. But for the information I got, that the president will not keep him there. But if the president will keep him on that job, it will be based on stuff, because the president is so he pride, because of us saying it now, he will keep him there. That's the whole show. You're listening to him. You're listening to Eugene Nangwe on Spoon. It was one of the worst show ever. A comedian lying to Liberian people. But you know, history of George, I'm not going to go that far in that. I would not be stupid to tell you that President Weah never built a house. President Weah had a house in Florida. He had two houses, and he had two houses. He had two houses in Florida. He had a little shop, almost like number, what do you call it? Say 9th Street. It's a big place. I was there when the day they opened. I was there. Upon this, I was there. I was there when they opened it, when they were putting all the African food in there. Who was running that place? Michael Duncan was the manager for that place. He had a house in Pembroke, I think that Pembroke said, 4 letter days. The house is just like any other houses around here. Like where my aunt lived, the big houses. I think it was a 6 or 8 bedroom house. Let me see, one. He had a room where he had the music. The 2 children had one. He had his main room. I think roughly about 6 bedroom, or so if I'm mistaken. He said it was 6 million. I'm sorry, he said it was 1.2 or 1.1. That's what he said. But the real truth is that at that time, in that era, the houses, Florida houses not expensive. You know that. We all know Florida houses are not expensive. I saw O.J. Simpson picture on his house that he spent $500,000 on. Big house. In that era, the houses were going for like 3 up to 400,000. You understand? But he had a house there, and he had another small one. We went back to that house during graduation. But you can't come on Facebook, on social media, and lie that this house was $4 million and he sold it for $11 million and somebody wanted it for $9 million. You see how Commissioner Eugene Nabwe is fighting to get his job? Let us not lie. And you know it's easy. I can Google an address today and tell you how much that house cost 5 years or 10 years ago. You don't do that. Big time celebrity living in $7 million house, $10 million house. You telling me, and people who went to that house, you telling me that that house was $4 million and the president sold it for $11 million? Eugene, you a liar. It's a jerk center, something jerk center. That place lasted for 1 year. 1 year. It was not a good place for business. I'll be honest with you. It was not a good place for me. Even when I saw the place, I said, there, the people can come because it's a quiet place. It's an old building, not owned. Whether they say they own it, well, thank God for them. Good. But that place lasted for 1 year. You know, I like to talk about this, but for government officials sitting right there, then he said, President Weah built his first house in Liberia when he was 19 years old. Wow. Eugene lied the daylight out of his damn head. Seriously. President Weah's first house. Anybody can tell me? He bought his first house in Staten Island. Before even he built a house on 9th Street. Through Sillaby. Sillaby used to come to that place, Staten Island. He bought a house there. And because we never came to America, we said, oh, George, in fact, we're all in the newspaper. George Weah bought a house in Staten Island. I saw the house. It was not no extra house. But because we're not in America at the time, we said, oh, yeah, wow. Then he said, President Weah purchased the land that he got right now from Archibald. Lie. Blinking lie. That house was very small. That land was the land that Doe promised and gave to some. Some people never pay attention to their own. And President Weah purchased the other land where he put the swimming pool. The swimming pool there is bigger than the house. But he built a house. He wanted a house. He built a house. The one on 9th Street, he bought that land 2 times. The first time was in court from a Mandingo woman. Now, Laji Kruma was the one who intervened. We play in our house. He built a house. He built a house. Let us be honest. He built a house. But these are the 2 houses that he built. So when Eugene will come up and say, President Weah built his house at the age of 19. So which of the house he built at the age of 19? Because he said he built the house before he went professional. Eugene come, you know, it's so sad. You don't need to talk, Eugene. You need not to talk. Then you own Timberlane and whatsoever lying. Why if we come out and give some of your stories? When you were with Ellen Johnson, when you sat with some of us here, I personally, you sat with me, we drove from Delaware to a house where they invited us after playing the old time again. You said some stuff. Why if we come and start saying it? Lying on Timberlane, that Timberlane and this guy had a problem. What year, President Weah built a house? You said 19 years old when? 1987. In fact, let me just take your memories back. If you watch this show, you'll give it to him. 1986, James Salensa Diba was the most valuable player and highest scorer in the LFA League. 1987, George Weah was the highest scorer and the most valuable player. That's that same 1987. His son that we call Champ was born. That is why they call him Champ. The end of after the 87 league, the following year, 1988, they had the LFA 50th anniversary. And we invited teams from Liberia, from Cameroon, Nigeria, Sarah Fisheries, and other teams. Our first game we play Ghana Black Star friendly match, and then George Weah play all the games for IE, which I will give it to him. He never lost, no, he never turned down any game. It can be a play game he will play. That time, James Salensa Diba was the Liberia celebrity. But you see, sometimes when you miss your luck, your opportunity when it comes, and you push it aside, what happened to James Diba? Cameroon, Tonel, everybody, where's James? Where's James? Where's James? James refused to play Barrow game. He refused to play the Lone Star game. He refused. But when it came to IE and Barrow, James Salensa Diba wore number 9 jersey on that day. And he poo-poo on himself. And people boo him. And George Weah play. Tonel said they want to carry George Weah. IE never hesitated. They gave the ITC International Transfer Certificate free. They only paid that money to LFA. I think at that time it was Liberty. It was the Doe coin. I think it was, if I'm mistaken, they say it was 7,000. And even it was 7,000, but it was 750 something. And he went to Cameroon. When George went to Cameroon, they took him there to visit. He signed a contract, 3 years for $30,000. We said, oh, Ambassador Carton Carpet was there and he ate George Weah money. That's what they say. On his way to Liberia, he signed another contract with Africa Sports for $66,000 for 3 years. Everybody knew, say, oh, George put himself in trouble. He put himself in trouble. He was blessed. He was blessed. Which, if any one of them was going to complain, President George Weah was going to be suspended because you can't sign a 2 contract. So everybody, he looked at it. Simply Sensu, the president of Africa Sports, used to love George Weah. He called George. He said, I will call. He told the contract, or he said, but what you do anytime you come to Africa, stop with us and you can play for us. And how you see George will be closer to Africa Sports. Every time he come there, he stop with Africa Sports. George went to Cameroon because everybody said Cameroon is a better place, because at that time Rashidi Yakini was into Ivory Coast and could not go anywhere. He played most of the entire time in Ivory Coast. They don't just let you go. Because Ivory Coast were paying, like Sekou Bamba and all the guys, then they play in Ivory Coast. You understand? So George Weah left and played for 6 months with Kofi Abre. And then there's a guy they call Claude Leroy. He was the coach for the Cameroonian national team. Contacted Arsenal Wenger and said, listen, I got a guy here. And Arsenal Wenger went there and saw George Weah. And George Weah was transferred for $265,000 given to Tonel. IE never benefited from that money. Because IE people, they were kind enough, they were not smart enough to stay Africa Sports. Say, listen, we'll give this guy to you based on anything we benefit from it. They paid nothing. And they got $265,000 and George Weah left. Went to Monaco, came back to Liberia and left for Monaco. It was not picked up from the street. President Weah was not George Weah was not picked up from the street to go and play. George Weah never went to Europe to France to hustle. No. He lied on that too. The first time he went to France, he said, I came to France with 1 jean trouser. That's a lie. He went there as a professional player. He was signed on. His transfer was paid for and went to Monaco. And when he got to Monaco, there was no space on Monaco team. There was no space. They started playing. At the same time, Monaco were already in a championship league. George Weah's first international match for Monaco were against Reykjavik in Iceland. And they brought George Weah in, I think 30 minutes of game time. And George Weah scored his first goal for AS Monaco. Reykjavik, if I'm wrong, let somebody correct me. Reykjavik. And from there, George Weah said, they have Mark Hitley. He was the number 9 for Monaco. Glenn Hoddle, the midfielder, he was number 10. Luckily, and a blessing, Somebody must fall for one to get up. Somebody must make mistakes for one to capitalize. And Mark Haley got hurt. Because I will tell you, and I'm saying this one I'm going to tell you is from himself. They were thinking about sending him down to the second team because there were no, in Europe, they don't keep you when they know that it's not like I am Barrett in the just put all the players together. But that guy got hurt, and Joshua was a replacement. And from there, he proved himself. It is what he loved. He played. He liked the game. That was his blessing. Now his calling. Nobody would take it from him. Nobody. And played for Monaco for 4 years. Then went to Paris Saint-Germain. And did good in Paris Saint-Germain. And then went to AC Milan. They went to quarterfinal or semi-final when AC Milan beat them. And went to AC Milan. Even Jean Papin came up and said Joshua will not make it in Italy. But he made it. He made it. So all this news, Eugene Amway don't even know. He was nowhere around. Eugene Amway a barrow man. Eugene Amway not a football man. He's never a football man. Eugene from Maryland for the same county. He was not a type in the football business. He was a journalist, yeah. Even 2005, Eugene Amway was not with George Weah 2005. He was not. He make his way. He transferred from place to place. He look at it and see which one is better. He switched over. You understand? And when Joshua like you, they start traveling, going all around because he was the Secretary General of CDC now, traveling all over the place. He lied. He said it was because of Bromskin. It was because of Tottenham he went to Ellen. That's a lie. He was supporting. He wanted for Bromskin to go with George Weah. At the same time, Ellie was behind them for CDC not to run. If anybody can correct me, that meeting took place at the City Hall, and it never went well. There was confusion. The late Geraldine Doe, Akaras Gray, Eugene Amway, they were there having a presence. From that day, that's where the breakup came up, and they left. Akara Gray also he came back. Geraldine Doe, all the people that they were the one who were making the way because Ellen Johnson have already told us, listen, y'all need a, and that money was involved. Eugene knew. Why you think Ellen Johnson was so close, brought Eugene closer? Because yes, Eugene never went there and destroyed George Weah. Eugene always used to tell George and tell your people. They kept the friendship still. They came to America. They played for my old timer team, which at that time was the president. Eugene and George Weah played for our team. They stay friends and whatsoever. But he told Ellen plain blank that, listen, I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to criticize George Weah. And every leader will respect you for that. And I said, but he plays the way he want to play, but don't lie on social media. President Weah was not 19 years when he built his first house. President Weah went professional and came back. Sometimes we question age and whatsoever. Because if President Weah was 19 years old, don't you think that Lone Star was going to use President Weah on the Honor 21? You believe it? Listen to me again. At the time, Massa Jr., Kelvin Sebwe, Atofa, and Patty Rosie, all these guys, we had them on the under 21. And whether they like it or not, will reduce their ages. The Massa Jr. will reduce the age. Listen, my people. No 16, 15-year-old easily, unless maybe they're drinking milk now. The real 16-year-old can play for in Labro. They can play on for division team. They stay small. Most of the people, I'm telling you, I know you don't want to hear that. So, if President Weah was 19 years old, he was going to play on the Honor 21. They got people who play on the senior team and on the 21. It's not a law. It's not to say you can't do it. But because George Weah they have already played for IE, they could not reduce the age anymore. They could not change the age. So if George Weah say he was 19 years old at the time, so I'm just to tell you. So you're telling me, if George Weah was 19 years old and built his first house, he was playing for IE. So my people, your former IE, because George Weah was George Weah was living in one of the place there that IE gave them, he and somebody were living in the same place. On a camp, he and Thomas Freeman share room together. On national team, they share room together. So which of the house that President we are bought before 19 at the age of built at the age of 19? Eh? But anyway, everybody fighting for the job. But don't get me wrong, he was ambitious. He built houses. He helped people. He helped people in who went to him. Some were lucky, some were not. And I listened to somebody who said, "Oh, and Mr. Cummings, I was in a refugee camp in Nigeria. Mr. Cummings were working with Coca-Cola. He never came on the refugee camp." My friend, you are very stupid too. You are stupid. Mr. Cummings supposed to say, "Oh, you know, I'm going on a refugee camp because I will be running for president one day. So let me go on a refugee camp. Because you on a refugee camp, he should go there." Every Liberians was struggling with their family people. Mr. Cummings helped some. So let me put it in myself. I went on refugee camp. Anybody help me? No. Did Joshua help me on refugee camp? No. Did Joshua help refugees with their schools and other things? Yes. He did it on the camp? No. They went to his hotel, King's Hotel. So tell me, so why people really worry about, oh, you are running, you at the time the war was on, you never helped? Shut up. Did Ellen Johnson, did Elijah Croman, did George Weah ever went on refugee camp and helped somebody? No. People went to them. They went to them. Mr. Cummings has his own family. You got your family. If I'm not going to get money from America for my family, you think I'm going to... is that the kind of nonsense you think about? He must help you before you know that he helped somebody? That is why when you do good, the person you do good to don't turn out good. Somebody else will give it to you. But when you come and say Mr. Cummings was in Nigeria and were in the refugee camp, he kind of wondered, did Joshua went to the refugee camp in Nigeria too? That you voted for him? You wonder why Joshua playing football? You wonder watch him playing football that we enjoy. That was the only good thing that could just ease ourselves. It was just an entertainment for us. It couldn't give me food during the war. Joshua scored the 10,000 goals. He ain't give me no food. He played all the ball. It just make me to laugh and enjoy myself. And come home and damn hungry again. And start looking for food. We need to change. It's not what you do for me to me vote for you. Eugene Nambwe, I knew Eugene Nambwe from Liberia when he was special assistant to the late Joe Tate. We hang out together, me, Eugene Nambwe, and Olu, Briggs. Three of us in the car whole day going. But it's not a friendship business. It's not about friendship. Liberia is bigger than us. But that's the way they want to take it. They want to protect the job. They want the job and to do all kinds of things. So that's fine. But I will not come out and lie. It don't even match. He said, well, he making fun. Well, at least y'all say he built house. But you just lie as a government official. Lie on numbers. That this house was 4 million and he sold it for 11 million. Somebody wanted to buy it for 9 million, but he sold it for... You lied the hell out of anybody. It was not a house by itself. It was in a nice community. But all the houses in Florida is not no extra. It's not no extra house, man. People that want, he got a house there. It was a big house. The house is right. That cost $500,000. Florida houses is expensive. No, there's no basement. It's just all one flat. See celebrity in the house and say that, oh, the house I bought it for $10 million or $4 million. Read about the other celebrities. Big house, $5 million, upstairs, downstairs. That house was just a one flat. They don't have a basement there. A near artificial place. There's a whole community. I know Pembroke was a whole community. Oh, the man got another house in Hollywood, Florida. He got this other one. You know, you lying because then Mr. Keith Hassan, who just a disgrace on a spoon talk show, could not even open that, don't even know. He don't know George Weah, have never met George Weah before. Don't even know about George Weah. But we want, then why they make up the story say he worth $83 million? Eh? That's what Timothy challenged him. Show, declare your asset. If you love Liberian people, declare your asset, Mr. President. You know. But anyway, we'll continue to speak out. I just want to call this one out. Eugene, history will hold you, my brother. I know you're fighting because the time is over. You're fighting for that job. But I want to be honest with you. I can see it. I don't think President Weah will appoint you. He might send new person there. You can do anything. He will not reappoint you there. He will send somebody there. He might give you something else. But he will not reappoint you. So you can go and take all the money and give it to him. You can go and steal all the money from there. The first thing, you don't have a good rapport, my brother. You don't. You don't. So it's up to you. Continue to lie. Nobody tell you the most popular Liberian ever in our lifetime is George Weah. We'll be honest with it. Yeah, we'll be honest. But Liberians, Cummings is the way. If we want a good leader, or a leader that will represent us, or a leader that will be in the interest of the Liberian people, that will be in the interest of Liberians, not politicians, not the corrupt politicians. They are the one I am afraid of, Mr. Cummings, because they're corrupt. So say, oh, Mr. Cummings say he was not in favor of the war crime, but now he in favor. Only stupid leaders don't change. Wise men changes. It's not a mistake. You know what we don't understand? The way politics were yesterday is not today. In America, Bill Clinton was against the Gay Act. This time around, he supported it. Bill Clinton signed into law the justice something to prosecute criminals. But now, they say, okay, we'll fix it. It's staying nothing. But we got somebody. For once, let us make the difference for Liberia. Thank you very much. Share this video. Don't forget, follow me on YouTube and on Facebook, The General. And you will see it there all the time. But for now, I'm going to switch over to Facebook and we'll continue the conversation on Facebook. Have a good day and God bless you. Bye for now. I'm going to go on Facebook.